Right, members, coming back. And here we are going to look at the cases where a flowchart is already drawn for you, and they want you to derive the relationship, okay, of the quantities given in the flowchart. They want you to perform a dry run by yourself and state the purpose, okay? So this one here, it is a bit technical in that you need to know, you need to have as much ideas as possible when it comes to relating. But we are going to do some examples and then we see how best we can connect, okay? So here is a flow chart. They've given us, I've said that we start, at first n is 0, n is 1. This one means that at first we have n as 0, n as 1. When you increase n, you'll be increasing it by 1, then you'll be getting a as a times n, then you print n and value of a. But here is a question, is now when they are drawn, or when it is already drawn for you, it may not follow the procedures that we follow when we are drawing. That's why you see printing is coming later, but if you are to follow, you will find out that maybe this machine was right this way because of what it is going through. So here they're asking, is n less or equal to 6? That if yes, go back and increase n. If no, you stop the machine. So basically, when we are working on this, we need to really see, that's why I want to fix it here so that I keep looking at my flow chart. Solution Roman 1, we shall be having, they want us to perform a dry run. So I'll be having n here and value of a here, okay? Performing a dry run. So at first, n is 0, a is 1. N is 0, a is 1. They say that you increase n by n plus 1. So n was 0. When we add 1, it will be 1. Then they are saying that a will be gotten as a times n. So we shall be getting this a. We multiply n, we get the a here. So it is 1 times 1, which is 1. You increase n by 2 because you will add, it will become 2. Then to get a, get 1 times 2, which will be 2. Increase n by 3. To get a, you get 2 times 3, which will be 6. Increase n by 4. To get a, you'll be getting 6 times 4, which is 24. Increase n by 5. When you increase n by 5, you'll be getting 24 times 5. And when you get 24 times 5, you'll be getting 120. But remember, you have to continue asking yourself, is n less or equal to 6? Not yet. So we are still continuing n and a here, only that my space got done. When n is 6, we shall be getting 120 times 6, which will be 720. Okay, that is n as 720. Then they are saying that is n less or equal to 6? If it is less or equal to 6, you have to still continue and add it until it gets greater than. Okay? But if it is no longer less or equal to 6, you stop. So meaning we still need to carry on more iteration to get n as 7. When n is 7, you get this times this to get the value of a, which will be 50, 40. And that is where the machine is stopping from. So it is very easy. Now that is the dry run. It's already done. You have been instructed here, is n less or equal to 6? If it is less or equal to 6, continue. So many students made a mistake by stopping at 6. But here is the question, is it less or equal to 6? If it is less, that is yes, continue and rather go back and increase the n to 7. But if it is no longer, then you stop. So after 7, it is no longer less or equal to 6, and then I had to step. I have to say stop. So that is the dry run. It is done. State the purpose of a flow chart. State the purpose of a flow chart. Now, to state the purpose of a flow chart, this one can easily be looked at by looking at the values, relationship of the values. Okay, relationship of the values you have. Now, here we are computing and printing the factorial of whole numbers up to 7. Because when you look at 0 factorial is 1, 1 factorial is 1, 2 factorial is 2, 3 factorial is 6, 4 factorial is 24, 5 factorial 120, etc. Meaning that this flowchart is enabling us compute and print, okay, the factorial of whole numbers up to 7. So we shall say that the purpose is to compute and print the factorial of whole numbers up to 7. Then Roman 3, they want us to write down the relationship between n and a. To get a, we take the factorial of n. So you'll just say a is equals to n factorial. As simple as that. So that is what is required. Then part B, they're saying that draw a flow chart that reads and prints the mean of first 20 numbers and perform a dry run for your chart. The mean, now that is an independent question. The mean of first 20 numbers. So we shall be asking ourselves if n is equal to 20, right? So now we shall do like, they want us to draw a flow chart that reads and prints the mean of the first 20 numbers. So I will have to start the machine. Okay, then I'll begin with when n is 0. Or I can use the capital letter when n is 0. Then also when n is 0, then the sum is 0. Then here I have to increase, I'll be increasing n to n plus 1. I'll be increasing n because I'm going up to 20. Then after that, it means that also the sum will be increasing by 1. The new sum will be equal to the older sum plus 1. If you increase n, the sum will also increase by 1. Then I will ask myself whether n is equal to 20. If no, it means that you have to increase it. So you come and join from here where you're increasing from. If no, you will increase that n by elect. All right. And if yes, you'll print this, the average, because they told us that can print the average, otherwise one can use this also. You print, they say that prints the mean, okay? So print average, which is sum, average will be equal to the sum out of 20. And then after that, you stop. So as you can see, this flowchart has got some difference from what we were doing, because here you are not given formulas, so you are increasing the n's, the sums by you yourselves, but you're going up to 20. That's why I ask myself, is n equal to 20? If not, I will increase, and if yes, I will print. Okay, so that is what we are having. Then if they say that you perform a dry run, they want us to perform a dry run for this, and then we'll find the average. It means that we are moving up to n equals to 20. We're having n, we are having the sum, maybe one can ask themselves whether can say is n less than 20 until it is no. So here you can just do, you can move from n is equals to 0. 0, sum will be 0. N is still less than. You move to 1. When you say 1, here the sum will be 1. If you say 2, it will be 1 time plus this, which will be 3. If you say 3, it will be 3 plus 3, which is 6. If you say 4, it will be 6 plus 4, which is 10, the sum. If you say 5, it will be this 15. If you say 6, it will be 21. If you say 7, it will be 28. If you say 8, it will be 36. If you say 9, it will be 45. If you say 10, it will be 55. Okay? If you say 11, it will be 66. All right? If you say 12, it will be 78. If you say 13, it will be 91. If you say 14, it will be 105. If you say 15, it will be 120. Here, it is still yes, because at the end, the value of n is still less than 20. So you go to when n is 15, we are continuing with our sum. So when n is 16, it will be, you will add, it will be 136, because you are getting 120 plus 136. If n is 17, you get this plus this, you get 153. If n is 18, you'll get 171. If n is 19, you'll get 190. And when n is 20, you get 210. Now, they say that you perform a dry run, and after performing a dry run, you can get the average because you need to complete the task. So the average here would be the sum, which is 210 out of the number of items, which is 20. And you realize that the sum is 10, or rather the average is 10.5. All right, so that is it. That is how the flowchart can simplify your life in case you get issues there. Okay. Let me give you another drawn one. We interpret it, then I give you one or two also interpret by you yourselves, and then you see. Then there is one they give you a dismantled one, when they want you to join it. Okay, when they want you to rearrange. Okay, so, but anyway, let's first have another example. Given the flow chart below, we are given let's say the begin. They said P is 1. Then after that, we said N is equal to 1 and P is equals to 1. Then after that, we are printing P and N. Then after that, we have the decision box. And is asking, is P equal to 8? Meaning we shall move up P is equal to 8. If yes, end the program. If no, you have to continue until you continue and you increase the values according to this format. You have said that if no, you put this P plus 1, M plus 2, while N should be going to N plus M. Then you go back to this step. Okay, so that is the flowchart. They want you to perform a dry run. Perform a dry run of the flowchart. B, you want to state the relationship between P and N. State the relationship between P and N. Now, looking at this, it's a bit easier because you're given everything in order. So let us begin with a dry run. The variables are P, M, and N. So you're having P, N, and M. And for this case, we are beginning with P as 1, N as 1, M as everything. Okay. Okay. So actually, this was P is equals to 1, N is equals to 1, M. This one is M is equals to 1. So we have 1, 1, 1. But remember, they're asking whether P is 8. So we shall move up to P is equals to 8. Okay, so now they are telling you that if P is not 8, we want to print P and N. That's why even the relationship is about P and N, what you're printing out. But they're saying that if P is not 8, we increase P by 1. So it means that the new P will be 2. After increasing P by 1, that will increase M by 2. So increasing M by 2, it was 1, we shall add a 2, it becomes 3. Then the new N will be older N plus M. So older N is 1 plus M is 4. That is it. We got P as 3. M will be M plus 2. So this is a 5. Then N will be equal to older N plus M, which will be 9, because it will be this one plus this. We go to P as 4. M will increase by 2, so it will be 7. If it becomes 7 to get new N, we shall have 16 here. Okay, it's a matter of knowing the logic here. So if P is 5, we shall increase M by 2 to be 9. And 9 plus 16, that would be 25. We go to P as 6, M will become 11. 11 plus this will become 36. I think everyone can really see the relationship. If it is 7, this one would be 13. 13 plus this would be 49. When it is 8, remember we are stopping at 8. When P is 8, we shall end the program. So this one will be 15. And when you add 15 and 49, it becomes 64. So that is what we are having. That is what we are having. That is our dry run as Roman 1. Roman 1. Roman 2. Roman 2 is where they want us to state the relationship between P and N. The relationship between P and N. P is 1, N is 1. P is 2, N is 4. P is 3, N is 9. P is 4, N is 16. Meaning that P squared is equals to N. Okay? Or P is equals to the square root of N. Or N is equals to P squared. As simple as that. That is the relationship. Okay? That is the relationship. That is the relationship. Okay, so I'm going to give an assignment, all of us, to perform. That's supposed to be my number 3. I want you to do it. Perform a dry run of the flow chart below. What is the relationship? Okay, what is the output? In words, after the dry run, state the relationship between N and T. So we are having start, and here we shall have A as 0, N as 0, and T also as 0. It was supposed to be down. Then here my flowchart will have N is equals to N plus 1. Then here we shall have A as A plus N. Before that, I can connect something else. T is equals to T plus 6A plus 1. It is in one formula, and you connect there. Then after that, we shall print printing N and T. Then after that, there is a suggestion. We are deciding whether N is 10. Is N equal to 10? Question mark. If yes, you will stop. Connect there. If yes, you will stop. And if no, you will move and you increase it up to when it is 10. Okay, so that is what I want us to do. And we state the relationship for that flow chart. I have some other flow chart I want us to do. I'm going to end with a case. I'm going to end with the question, which I want to do for you, where we have a flow chart that is not organized, that they want us to organize. Okay. Given below, are points of a flow chart not arranged in order. Not arranged in order. We have start, we have have a rhombus. And inside the rhombus is B less or equal to 0? Question mark. Then we have stop. We have print C. We have got read. Read A. Then we have got C, B plus 2. Then we've got B, which is A minus 5. Then we've got A plus 1. Then we have got another decision box where we have is B divisible by 2? Is B divisible by 2? There's a question mark. So they want us to rearrange them and draw a logical flow chart. Then B, state the purpose of the flow chart. State the purpose of the flow. State the purpose of the flow chart. So that is the flow chart we are having, but we want to see if we can really organize it in order. Okay. We have start, stop, print C, but you need to know when do you print C? Meaning print C, this is the output. So this step should come at the end. Okay, should come at the end. We are printing C. But we begin by reading A. Okay, we shall begin by reading A. Then we have seen that B, to get B, we get A minus 5. And to get C, we get B. To get C, we get B, we divide it by 2. It is divided by 2, not add. It is divided by 2. Because here we have, is B divisible by 2? So we shall be checking, is B divisible by 2? If not, it means you have to go back. Now, I will say start. I'm going to use smaller shapes so that my flowchart can fit. Then I will read A. Don't change shapes to what you want. No, read A. After reading A, we can get B. And we've said that B is the same as A minus 5. But then ask yourself, is that B obtained divisible by 2? That's the question that should come here. Is B divisible by 2? That is the question that we should bring in here. Okay. Is B divisible by 2? Question mark. Question mark. Oh, we have this. Is B greater or less or equal to 0? I have rushed. Is B, so I'm sorry for this. Is B greater or equal to 0 because what you have gotten it. So is B greater or equal to 0? Question mark. Then of course, if it is not, because here we can see, you can see how our A is pointing. Okay? If we find when it is greater, when we find that it is not, here we shall connect where we shall increase the value of A, because A we should subtract from 5, so it means that it should be a reverse. A minus A will be A plus 1 here, and then there we connect back and put into B. You note the arrow should be above, so that will come from above. So then at this point, this is when it is a yes. Then still you ask, after you fulfilling that task, then ask yourself, is that B I have gotten it divisible by 2? Okay. Ask yourself, this should be a rhombus. Is B divisible by 2? Question mark. Question mark. If no, if it is no, then you have to go back and come properly with the A's. Okay? But if it is divisible by 2, if it is divisible by 2, then you can get C, because C will be B divided by 2. So you'll get C, which would be B divided by 2. And here we can easily print our C now, because we have gotten it. We have read the value of C, we have it. So now you can easily print C. Okay, I've been given a parallelogram, the parallelogram. So you will print C. And after printing C, you have to end the program. So that is how that flowchart is supposed to come up. Give it time, repeat it over and over again, over and over again, over and over again, and make sure that it is very well understood. Okay, make sure that it is very well understood. Then when they want us to state the purpose of this flowchart, we can state the purpose of the flowchart as to compute and print the positive natural numbers divisible by 2. Okay, to compute and print natural numbers divisible by 2. In other words, the positive multiples of 2. Okay, the positive multiples of 2. So all in all, you can find out that when they give it to you drawn, it can be a bit challenging for you to interpret it. So you have to, you need to have a wider scope of mathematics. But when they want it to draw, when they want you to draw it, it is the simplest, and that is what is very common. But make sure that you practice a lot so that you know the logics behind these flowcharts. I wish you all the best. God bless you.